Good morning, everyone. I am Hannah Jane Timngaran, your teacher for today. Before we start our class, let us have a short prayer first. Okay, so are you ready to learn a lot today? Okay, so I am also ready to share my knowledge about this topic. So today, um, you're going to know the ways and what is the meaning of follow-ups calls after an interview. So first, let us know why do we need the follow-up calls after an interview, or why is it important? So, following up demonstrates your proactive attitude. So, it reinforces your interest in the position and helps you stand out among the other candidates. So, it is also provides an opportunity to address any additional questions the interviewer might have. So, um, to continue, let us know the timing and frequency on doing follow-up calls. So, in timing and frequency, it includes the first follow-up and the subsequent follow-ups. So, first, let us know what is the meaning of first follow-up. So, first follow-up typically wait about 3 to 5 business days after the interview before making your first follow-up calls. So, on the other hand, subsequent follow-ups, if you don't receive a response after the first follow-up, wait another week before trying again. So it limits follow-ups to avoid appearing too persistent. So second is the preparation. Of course, we need to prepare when we after the interview, or we need to prepare during a follow-up calls after an interview. So in here, it includes the review interview notes, prepare your points, and check contact information. So in reviewing the interview notes, you should refresh your memory about the key points and discussed during the interview. And the second one is prepare your points, of course, diba? So we should prepare our points always. So know exactly what you want to say. Write down a brief script or bullet points to keep the conversation focused. And the last one is the check contact information. So here, you need to ensure you have the correct phone number and the name of the person you are calling. Of course, it is important. So, next is the making the call. So, in making the call, there are 6 ways to be followed, or there are steps that we need to follow during a um, follow up calls after an interview. So first is a professional greetings. So of course, if you are doing a follow-up calls, or you receive a follow-up calls after an interview, you should professionally greet that person in the other calls. So for example is, hello Maria de la Cruz, this is Hannah Jane Timangaran, like that. So the second one is the introduction and reminder. So for example is, I recently interviewed for the technical writing positions at Allied 2 on May 20, 2024. So make it brief, just a short introduction and a reminder, of course. So the third one is the reason for the call. Of course, there is only a reason when we are making a call. So let me read the example. So I am calling to follow up on the status of my application. So make it just short but clear and understandable. So the fourth one is the to express the continued interest. So for example is I remain very interested in the opportunity to work with Allied 2, and I believe that my skills in this specific position would be a great fit for your team. Okay, so you are encouraging the company or the person on the other call about something. So the fifth is to offer additional information. So in offering additional information, let me read the example. So if there are any further details or documentation needed from my side, I would be happy to provide them. So make it also simple but understandable and concise. So the last one is polite closing. So of course, when we are on a phone with someone, we should end it with in a polite way or in a polite closing. So for example, thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a great day. So that is one of the best examples of polite closing when we are doing and follow-up calls or when we receive a follow-up calls after an interview. So next is the script. So let me read you the example script. Hello, Maria de la Cruz. This is Hannah Jane Timangaran. I recently interviewed for the technical writing position at Allied 2 on May 20, 2024. I am calling to follow up on the status of my application. I am very interested in the opportunity and believe my experience with with the knowledge of writing techniques aligns well with what you are looking for. If there are any further steps I need to take or additional information required, please let me know. Thank you very much for your time and consideration. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a great day. So that is an example of a script during a follow-up calls or when we receive a follow-up calls or when we do a follow-up calls after an interview. Okay, so the second one is the voicemail tips. So in voicemailing, it should be concise and clear, contact information are provided, and reiterate interest. So in concise and clear, you need to if you need to leave a voicemail, keep it brief but informative, of course. It should be complete and informative about you. So the second one is the contact information. Of course, it is very important to leave a contact information. So in case if they will if they will do the follow up calls, they will easily and can call you using the information contact information you gave to them. So it clearly state your name and phone number. So it will help them to locate you easily. And the last one is reiterate interest. So briefly mention your interest in a role and thank them for their time. So that was the 6 steps in doing a follow-up calls, or if you receive a follow-up calls during a no after an interview. So next is the voicemail example. So please listen, because I'm going to read the example of a voicemail. So, hello, Maria de la Cruz. This is Hannah Jane T. Mangaran. I interviewed for the technical writing position at Allied 2 on May 20, 2024. I am calling to follow up on my application status. I am very interested in the role and believe I would be a great fit for your team. Please call me back at my number 09 blah blah blah. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. So, what I have read just now is an example of voicemail in doing, or in of course, in doing a follow-up calls after my interview or an interview. So next is the follow-up email. So what is follow-up email? So if there is a follow-up calls, there is also a follow-up email. So in follow-up email, if you do not receive a response after your phone follow-up, consider sending a brief email reiterating your interest and politely asking for an update on your application status. So of course, if you already did the follow-up calls and there's still no response from the company, or from that organization you're being interviewed for a work or a job, you should also try to, or you should really do the follow-up email. So by doing the follow-up email, you will remind them of your interest and their company, or on their vacant role of that company, of that certain company. So by following these guidelines, you can effectively manage your follow-up communication. So reinforcing your interest and professionalism while respecting the interview's time, or the interviewer's time. So that would be all for today. Thank you and God bless.